It's a MeatEater podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins. I'm your host, Spencer Neuharth. Today, we're joined by Steve, Janis, Cal, Brody, Randall, Seth, Marge, and John. John, this is your first time on the show. Tell folks what you do here at MeatEater.
I am the retail associate at the MeatEater flagship store in downtown Bozeman.
But what kind of folks do you deal with in there? Are they like, what percentage of people come in there who are like MeatEater fans versus they have no idea what the store is?
I would say probably 70% are MeatEater fans.
Okay.
But once we get into like tourist season here in Bozeman, it's kind of like an even 50-50.
Yeah.
Then like we've always had people coming into the store thinking it's a restaurant. Believe it or not, we actually had somebody ask for a menu at one point.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they all ask if Steve is in there?
All the time.
You tell
Number
him
one question.
He's sewing the shirts in the back of the store? Yeah.
Yep. We always have people, where's Rinella at?
That'd be great if we just had a little VO booth in the back. They could like look in through some glass and you could see Steve in there talking into one of these.
Yeah. And what's the status on the bison skull? That thing is still getting fingered on a daily basis?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's seen fingers from around the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is a 10-round quiz show with questions from MeatEater's 4 verticals, which are hunting, fishing, conservation, and cooking. And there is a prize. MeatEater will donate $500 to the conservation organization of the winner's choosing. For the stat of the week this week, we're looking at the most common category for question 10. In a recent episode, Randall and Phil proclaimed that I too frequently end the show on a fishing question. So,
because why?
Because why? What?
Why were they complaining?
Well, they think it's giving an advantage to Brody.
Not necessarily an advantage. It's just kind of anticlimactic when we know Brody's going to get the answer right.
Well, I looked at the last 10 episodes to see if they're right.
That's not representative.
Yeah, it's a small sample size.
They're
Spencer,
saying that right at the end, you throw a fishing question if Brody's...
They think question 10 is always a fishing question, so then it's just already like, losers. We already know what's going to happen, dang it. Brody's going to get this one right. Conservation was the final question twice. Woodsmanship was twice. Hunting was 3 times. And fishing was 3 times. So, hunting and fishing have been the most common category for question 10, with conservation and woodsmanship right behind them. You think I need to get a bigger sample size, though, and that's going to prove you right?
I think that the prior 10 episodes tell us nothing.
Okay.
I think that's like walking around a diner and asking people who's going to be president.
That probably works.
Depends where the diner is.
We'll get a bigger sample size to see if you're right. But I think Brody is on to something.
It doesn't matter
here.
What's true, Spencer. What matters is how I feel.
All right, here's our infrequently asked questions segment. If you have a trivia-related question for our crew, send it to trivia@themeateater.com with the subject line IFAQ. Devin Med says, me and a buddy are avid listeners and have agreed on a bet. We are having a year-long competition, and whoever loses the most games has to get a tattoo on their ass cheek. Originally, the rules were that the winner would pick the tattoo, but we'd really love for you guys to decide. We want it to be something related to the 4 verticals. What are your ideas? What's the room think? A trivia loser is going to get a butt cheek
just
tattoo.
The game on suckers.
Game on suckers. Then there'd be a few of us walking around the world with that tattoo.
Yeah, I'd get rid of the banner because that's not going to tattoo well.
Who else has that tattoo?
Me, and there's some other listener who's wrote in. Mine is, I can't hardly see it, but it's back there.
Oh yeah, so you went without the banner.
I went without the banner.
Is that new?
Like 2 years old. I don't know if that's new.
I think they should get Steve's face on their butt.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's what I like.
Maybe one of them gets the squirrel and one of them gets the sucker. Then it's like Power Rangers.
Into the middle of the butt cheeks.
And then we're like seeding a future segment for MeatEater Radio of tattoos I regret.
Yeah. Just keep that thing going.
Devin, we'll throw some ideas at you over the next month or so on the show here. People are going to think on this, and we're going to make some suggestions. All right, we have some housekeeping. On a previous episode, we had a question about the state knife of Texas, and this caused some angry Texans to write in about our pronunciation. Apparently, the man who the knife is named after pronounced it Bowie, like the thing that floats in a lake, not Bowie, like the glam rocker who wondered if there's life on Mars. But the most confusing part in all of this is that David Bowie actually created that stage name because of the knife. He said the big giant blade is very Americana, and then it signified his music was, quote, cutting through the lies. Bowie said in a 2000 interview that he's heard it said differently across the globe and that, quote, I don't even know how to pronounce it anymore. But when it comes to the knife, the answer is firmly Bowie. My apologies to our Texan listeners.
Oh, yeah. If I'd have been here, I'd have jumped on you about that.
You knew it was Bowie.
Of course.
I would just, the most famous Bowie we have is David Bowie. So I would,
No, Jim Bowie.
Bowie.
Yeah, David Bowie. Phil, you ever sing some David Bowie at karaoke?
I was in a David Bowie cover band, Spencer.
What? I didn't even know that.
I
Were
was.
you
Wow.
David Bowie?
What was it called?
Queen Bitches.
Oh, love it.
And what was your role in the band?
I played bass.
Okay.
I mean, it was kind of it was started as a joke, and we only ever played one show. But it was an opening act for a porn movie. So it was
Wow.
It was a blast. It was
All
a lot
right,
of fun.
you tell us more about that later.
Okay.
Crazy at 14.
All right, the Shelby Index for today is a 3, so our winner should get 6 correct answers.
Wow.
And with that, we're on to the game of trivia. Play the drop, Phil.
Look, I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything.
I feel like Steve just does not come in with his swagger of old anymore. Sorry.
What was the swagger of old?
He'd come in just talking shit to
I
everyone.
wasn't planning on being here.
Yeah, he
My
said
body's still trying to get used to my brain's decision.
Yeah, we got to be out of here by 3 o'clock. Otherwise, Steve can't join us. All right. Question 1. The topic is fishing. This will be multiple choice. And this is our listener question of the week, which was won by JD Miller for sending this great question. JD is going to get a board game signed by the crew. If you want a chance to win our listener question of the week, then send your question to trivia@themeateater.com. Which state is the brook trout not native to? Is it Virginia, Iowa, Arkansas, or Connecticut? Ooh. Which state is the brook trout not native to? Virginia, Iowa, Arkansas, Connecticut. Cal, how do you feel about your answer?
Fair to middling.
Okay. Brody, the second quickest player to have an answer. Brody, you got this one right?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay. Brody and Cal confident. Which state is the brook trout not native to? Virginia, Iowa, Arkansas, Connecticut. Is everybody ready?
It's too long of an answer, Seth.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying Iowa. Steve says Iowa. Janis, Iowa. Randall, Iowa. John, Iowa. Cal, Iowa. Marge, Iowa. Brody, Arkansas. The correct answer is Arkansas.
Son of a bitch!
Only Brody
I changed it.
got
too.
that one
Those
right.
fishing questions, Spencer.
Dude, I thought about putting that down too, man.
Brook trout are native to the Great Lakes region, New England, and the Appalachian Mountains. The closest their native range gets to Arkansas is about 400 miles east in northern Georgia and eastern Tennessee. Question 2, the topic is gear. This 9-letter word is defined as, quote, a knitted covering for the head and neck with an opening for the nose and eyes, worn for protection against the wind and cold. This 9-letter word is defined as a knitted covering for the head and neck with an opening for the nose and eyes, worn for protection against wind and cold.
Who's got the squeaky pen?
Someone who's writing. I think it's Steve.
He's real good at making those squeaky noises.
Brody, you're confident in your answer. You got this one right?
Yeah.
Steve, you got this one right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know it immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Players.
It's a great word, man. I wish I got that first one right. I can tell you that.
Is everybody ready?
I'd have a perfect game right now.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth and what's your board say, Steve? It's upside down.
What the hell does that say?
We have Seth and Steve and Janis and Randall and John. The entire room got it right. The answer is balaclava. The balaclava is named after a
balaclava.
I'm not sure. No, I'm sure someone will write
clava.
in. And
I think
tell
it's
us.
clava.
The balaclava is named after a Russian village where British soldiers wore them during the Crimean War. They are commonly used by people who are hunting, fishing, snowmobiling, skiing, or snowboarding. They are
Or
often
being out in the cold.
They are often associated with criminals who want to hide their identity.
But then they're just called ski masks.
Yep.
Doesn't
Just
First
six
Light
letter.
have a
Nobody
balaclava?
holds up
Yeah.
a liquor store with a balaclava.
Unless you're in Russia. Question
What's the
3.
But what's the Greek treat?
Baklava.
That's
Baklava.
off by one letter. Yeah.
Question
Those are good.
3.
Yeah, it'd be cool to eat like baklava through a balaclava.
Question 3, the topic is hunting. A hunter named Van Pelt is the antagonist in this 1995 Robin Williams movie.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus. I hate these movie ones.
A hunter named Van Pelt is the antagonist in this 1995 Robin Williams movie. Brody and Randall are very confident they're the only players with an answer
I don't
so
know how
far.
confident I am.
Extremely confident,
Seems
Spencer.
like a
Thank you.
long ass time ago.
Well, 30 years ago, a hunter named Van Pelt is the antagonist in this 1995 Robin Williams movie.
Mork from Mork?
How long ago did he die?
It's been a while.
You can Google that. My guess is
It was
like,
like 20,
what,
it was 20,
2005?
2014.
Kind of some
2014.
weird shit going on around then, wasn't there? He had some, I don't know.
He died in 2014.
Continue.
Phil, why'd you know that
Yeah.
immediately?
I don't want to lie.
Because I have a memory about reading the news when I lived in Missoula, and I only lived in Missoula for a short amount of time, so I knew it was 2014.
A hunter named Van Pelt is the antagonist in this 1995 Robin Williams movie.
Here's a hint. No one.
Oh, I know
fights
I got
like-
the wrong answer now because
You know that one?
Why do you know you have the wrong answer?
Tale is
because
of this
he's the
time.
antagonist in the movie I wrote down.
Oh,
Mrs. Doubtfire?
William. He didn't play too many bad guys.
No,
A
I know. But
hunter
he did
named-
one I'm thinking of. He's the antagonist.
a hunter named Van Pelt is the antagonist in this 1995 Robin Williams movie. Do our other players give up who don't have an answer? Cal,
Yep.
you know this one?
Yep.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. Seth, without an answer.
Jesus.
Steve, what's that say, Steve?
He was the
Insomnia.
yeah. He was Al Pacino was the protagonist. He was the antagonist.
Janis and Randall say Jumanji. John, without an answer. Cal says Jumanji. Marge says Hook. Brody says Night at the Museum.
like that movie.
The correct answer is Jumanji. It's
Good to see Brody falter a little
Three
bit.
players
I
get
thought I
that
was
one
wrong.
right.
What's the latest one that's the video game that Rock and his buddies go into?
That's Jumanji.
Jumanji. Well,
It's
let me
just a
tell
newer
you about it
version.
here.
Oh, okay.
Jumanji was a box office hit as the 10th highest grossing film of 1995.
Oscars,
It's about
whole
a
deal.
supernatural board game that releases jungle-based hazards on its players. Jumanji sequels were released in 2017 and 2019, with another coming in 2026. A little-known addition to the franchise came out in 2005 called Zathura. The spin-off film is about a space-themed board game that releases meteor showers, aliens, and astronauts into your living room. Phil, did you love Jumanji?
Yeah, it was heavy rotation at my babysitter's place back in the day.
Have you seen Zathura?
I have not seen Zathura. No, yeah, it's like sci-fi Jumanji, but the remakes or I guess sequels with The Rock and Kevin Hart and everything, they're not bad. They're solid.
Jack Black, too.
Jack
right?
Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that guy.
Well, not everybody.
Question 4. The topic is public lands. And this next great question is via Derek Morin. New England's tallest mountain, Mount Washington, is located in this state. Our players have their confidence back. A lot of quick answers. New England's tallest mountain, Mount Washington, is located in this state.
Should be called Mount Buzzkill. You can drive right to the top of this thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it kills a lot of people.
It does
Yeah.
kill a lot of people.
So you
Highest
call it the
winds.
buzz kill that kills.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
That's
real
good branding
letdown
right there.
People hiking in Crocs.
till you get frozen.
Or just driving up it.
Randall, I bet you love Jumanji.
You know, I actually, my memory is very faint. I could picture Van Pelt, great mustache on that guy, and a
He
pith
did have a
helmet,
good
if
mustache.
I recall.
Yes.
I didn't like the little boy that turned into the creature when he got. It wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's upsetting. He gets very hairy.
Yeah, he becomes a monkey. I didn't
Yeah.
like that. I didn't like. There's like bugs that come after him, creepy crawly things. Don't
all
like
kinds
that.
of stuff.
But yeah, all in all, I think it's serviceable, light fare for the cinema goer.
This review can wrap up anytime.
Oh,
Well, we're rating on a few players.
Your line of questioning is striking me as odd.
Okay.
Like I would say, let's say something weird happened. Like let's say you see two dogs, right? And I might say to Seth, like, oh, I bet you like that, don't you, Seth? Right? So, but for you to say like, well, I bet you like Jumanji,
How
don't
old
you?
were you in
It's weird to
1995,
me.
Randall?
I would have been 9 years old.
9 years old when a
follow what I'm
zoo-based
saying? I got
hunting
you.
And Steve-
wildlife movie
Steve,
came out.
you do this exact same thing. You just phrase it differently. You'll
I
go
bet
like,
you like Jumanji,
no,
don't you?
you'll look at Janis and go, Janis, you'll appreciate this, and then you say something that he doesn't really appreciate at all.
But I stole that from Brian Callen.
Oh, okay.
Again, New England's tallest mountain, Mount Washington.
Because Brian Callen was sitting there, and there's like we're at Doug Duran's house. There's like a farmer comes in, and no one knows anything about it. And Brian Callen's telling like one of the most grotesque stories. And he's like, this dude just come in the door. Brian Callen goes, "You'll appreciate this."
Another friend of ours starts, not every story, but a lot of them by saying, you'll like this story. It's really funny. And then he tells you the story.
Sets you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then, he gets in your head. Maybe you do wind up liking it.
Primes the pump.
I think assuming a 9-year-old Randall Williams would have liked that movie. All right, does everyone have an answer for New England's tallest mountain, Mount Washington, is located in this state?
Oh, I smudged my letters.
Okay, he's gonna. What's
Give me one
what's
sec.
your deal with your micro writing today?
I just feel like a lot of cheating potential.
Okay, he's got Seth
It's just like all
and
boxed
Yanni
in.
on each side of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth and Steve saying New Hampshire. Janis says Vermont. Randall, New Hampshire. John, Vermont. Cal, New Hampshire. Marge crossed out New Hampshire and wrote down Vermont. Brody
It's all
says
pinched together.
New Hampshire.
It's,
The granite
Correct
state.
answer is New Hampshire. About half of our room got that one right. 31 of New England's 34 tallest peaks are located in New Hampshire. Mount Washington is 6,288 feet in elevation, which is 500 feet taller than the second place Mount Adams. At the Mount Washington Observatory in 1934, a 231 miles per hour wind speed was recorded, which was the world record until 1996.
Keene, New Hampshire was the primary filming location for what movie?
Lake Placid.
Jumanji.
Oh, I did
Thank
not know
you,
that.
Phil.
Why did you know that?
Because I went there with Steve and we had dinner with Duncan Duncan, Ken Burns' guy. And he told us all about it.
Wow. And he didn't get Jumanji,
He didn't get Jumanji right.
Question 5. The topic is cooking. Who is the author of Mastering the Art of French Cooking? Steve and Yanni and Brody and Randall and Cal are going to their whiteboards. Who is the author of Mastering the Art of French Cooking?
Let me see what you got.
Yeah, let me see too.
Nice.
I would say you're throwing Steve a bone, but you know he was going to be here. So
I did not know Steve was
gotta-
going to be here.
How's
You
that
gotta
throwing me
pass.
a bone?
Have you read this book, Steve?
I'm aware of it.
Okay. Do you own it?
I may.
Could it be
Okay.
cited? And
Who
No,
is
I honestly don't own it. I mean, I've held it, but I don't own it.
Who is the author of Mastering the Art of French Cooking?
You know, it's like, to be honest with you, it's a lot of. It's not a favorite of mine. When we get done, I'll tell you if you want to. I'll tell you if you want to start doing that. I'll tell you who to read.
Okay. We have the time for you to make that declaration.
We do have to be out of here by 3.
We do.
I'll do it quick. It just takes 2 words.
Okay. I thought Brody was confident. He picked up his whiteboard awful fast, but now he's floundering. Who is the author of Mastering the Art of French Cooking?
Just to make it fun, Brody. Flounder.
Hold on, shush. What is this? What does that mean?
He wants Brody to get
It's
it
a
wrong.
flat fish.
That's what yeah.
Let's go.
He's telling Brody, don't try too hard.
Let's go. Let's go.
Brody, do you have an answer?
Sure. Let's wrap it up.
Is everybody ready?
Everybody show your answers.
Go ahead and reveal your answer. Seth without an answer. Steve and Yanni and Randall say Julia Child. John without an answer.
Brody got it wrong.
Cal says, what's that say?
Julie Chids.
Marge says Julia Child.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Brody says Julia Childs.
No,
the correct
Julie
answer is Julia Child. About half of our players got that one right. Southern Living magazine called that the most famous American cookbook, while a PBS documentary declared her America's favorite chef. Child won multiple awards for her TV shows and cookbooks before dying at the age of 91 in 2004. Danielle Pruitt said Child was the inspiration for her duck a la bourbon recipe that you can get on the MeatEater.com. Steve, what do you have to say about that cookbook?
I don't want to go negative. I'll go positive. I think that for like a somewhat proficient home cook who wants to make some French dishes, I would recommend the works of Jack Pepin, otherwise known as Jacques Pepin.
Okay, who Cal
Jacques
wrote down.
Pepin.
What
P-E-P-I-N.
What's the name of his book?
He's got Encore with Claudine. He's got Jack Pepin Celebrates. I call him Jack Pepin. Jack Pepin Celebrates. He's got a whole shitload of books.
All right.
I can't name them all.
Phil, we're halfway through the game of trivia. Give us a scoreboard update.
There we are.
Oh, man. 2 people ahead of me.
John in last place with 1 point. Coming up next are Marge and Seth with 2. Tied up are Steve, Janis, and Cal with 3. And in first place, neck and neck, are Randall and Brody. They have 4 points.
Question.
I can't believe I stayed, man. I was like leaving.
He got half the game left, man.
Steve had his coat on. He was walking out the
That
door.
close to being happy.
When your kids are playing like a sports game and they're losing at halftime, do you just leave?
If I'm losing, I do. Like an Uno, I'll throw my hand and walk out. Dude.
Question 6. The topic is hunting, and this next great question is via Tyler Hockaday. Easton Archery defines this as an arrow's, quote, measurement of its stiffness. Easton Archery defines this as an arrow's measurement of its stiffness. We're going to need to get Steve a new marker. I can already see the complaints.
Can count the
about
letters
the,
he's writing.
Yeah, if you were
the
good, you could tell
squeakiness.
what I wrote based on the.
Randall, could you grab a new marker?
I'd be
from
happy
behind
to.
you?
No, I do that on purpose to annoy you.
Okay.
I might knock
Well,
over the shelf.
It doesn't
though, when I
bother
screw
me,
around.
but it bothers our listeners.
The trick is you just press extraordinarily hard on your marker. Anybody can do it.
Okay. It's a little hot tip for our other trivia.
Well, you remember
players.
Sling Blade? And there's that when the dude in the insane asylum, like whenever he goes anywhere, he drags his chair behind him. Yeah, I'm kind of going for that.
French fried taters.
I like mustard in my taters.
Easton Archery defines this as an arrow's measurement of its stiffness. Is everybody ready?
I'm nervous.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth and Steve and Janis.
No,
and
you're not gonna
Randall
give it to
and
him this
John
time.
No, we're not.
And Cal saying spine. Marge says flex. Brody says spleen? Spline?
Fine.
We're not going to give it to you.
Good,
The
thank
correct
God.
answer is spine. Simply put, the lower the spine rating, the stiffer the arrow. Also, the
Julie.
more spine an arrow has, the heavier it gets. Spine ratings usually fall somewhere between 260 and 500, with the most common sizes being in the 300 to 400 range. Question 7. The topic is natural history.
So if you're having ED, do they use that same?
This is your number. It's a little high.
Question 7. The topic is natural history. The song Blank in the Sky with Diamonds was the inspiration for the famous skeleton
Come
that
on.
was discovered in an Ethiopian cave in 1974.
She just got moved. Set up in a new.
Now I'm especially going to
New
squeak
digs.
my marker.
Steve is mad. He thinks this is too easy, but I think a few of our players may not get this one. The song
Like
Blank
who
in the
specifically?
Sky with Diamonds
Name them.
was the inspiration
Well, I mean, you spelled
for
the whole thing out.
famous
Why-
skeleton
why-
that was
you-
discovered in an
you don't even need to
Ethiopian
read the
cave
whole
in
thing.
1974.
You don't even need to read. Just end the question at the sixth word.
Tell that to Seth.
Yeah,
I just told him.
Tell that to John.
I don't know it.
Not a
Tell
clue.
that to our listeners who are under the age of 30.
I would have said, what song was the inspiration for the famous skeleton that was discovered in the Ethiopian cave in 1974?
Trying to make a fun game for everybody.
Well, it was inspired by.
Did
Or no,
Shelby get this one?
She did not.
Oh.
Really?
It's funny because when we were kids, we always thought it stood for something else.
The song Blank in the Sky with Diamonds.
That's just
This
an
is a
old
hint.
wives' tale.
The famous skeleton that was discovered in an
Yes.
Ethiopian
doesn't
cave
know. Yeah.
You don't know?
in
Oh, shh.
1970.
Homer, give it to me hints.
Yeah, we're giving a lot of
I
hints,
said you
guys.
don't know.
I hummed it. He said, oh, I didn't even do that.
always
Let's show the
said-
answers. Quick.
I didn't say anything.
Go
Everybody show your
ahead
answers.
and reveal your answer. Seth, without an answer, we have Steve and Janis and Randall saying Lucy. John, without an answer, Cal says Lucy, Marge, and Brody say Lucy. They got it. The correct answer is Lucy.
Honest word.
Lucy was a human ancestor that lived about 3.2 million years ago. Her skeleton was the first of her species to ever be found. She's been called anthropology's sweetheart and has been shown in museums across the globe. The archaeologists who found her named her after that Beatles song that they'd been singing all week.
I'll give you a bonus point right now. Last name of Leaky.
Is it
What's the question?
That's who found it.
Oh,
Australopithecus? Is that the?
that's right. That's
Yeah, thank you.
that's
Thank
like.
you.
But then there's
Was I
another.
right, Phil?
There's
Was it
another
leaky?
thing after that.
Who found it?
I saw
I am not looking this up.
a blurb this morning on the bog man that's called Cheddar Man.
Mm-hmm.
They did a DNA analysis and they found basically a direct relative living in the same town next to the bog.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, 300 years later,
No way.
Damn.
which is fantastic. Yeah.
Question 8.
Yeah,
The
they don't
topic
get
is
out much,
fishing.
Mark.
This next great question is via Michael Groh. This 10-letter word is defined as, quote, a device which places a lure at the desired depth while the boat is moving. This 10-letter word is defined as a device which places a lure at the desired depth
I don't
while the
like
boat
this
is
one
moving.
bit.
Hated question 7, hates question 8.
I gotta say, it's a lot of fun to have Steve back. I mean that sincerely.
Well, I'll tell you why I don't like it
Okay.
later.
This 10-letter word is defined as a device which places a lure at the desired depth while the boat is moving.
Yeah,
Keep talking.
dude.
What's your problem?
Well, because
I
there's
like-
some other things out there
Shoot, just like
Okay.
that also place your lure at a desired depth.
But they're
Dude.
not 10 letters.
And they have 10
I got
letters?
it right. If I didn't get it right, you'd be in hot water right now. Because I just
Okay.
did some adding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a threat.
Maybe there's more than one.
There is.
Spencer's already come up with.
There is.
All right.
like I got
You
a
ever been
hole
punched?
in my memory.
You ever been punched in this game?
This would be the first time. This 10-letter word is defined as a device which places a lure at the desired depth
Oh.
while the boat is
Yeah.
moving.
Could think of a couple things.
Yeah, son of a gun.
Wow.
I got a trivia question.
Okay.
Who screwed up this one?
This is an exact
Was it A?
definition from someone who makes this thing. This 10-letter word is defined as a device which places
You know
a
what?
lure
I'm
at
not
the
playing this game.
desired depth while the
I'm not
boat
playing this game.
is moving.
The other one I can think of is not 10 letters.
I'm circle.
Okay.
See, not all fishing questions.
Wow. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have
that's what I
Seth
was
saying
trying to think
downrigger. Steve says downrigger.
And he
Janis,
says,
I can't, what's that say?
Cannonball.
Janis says downrigger. Randall downrigger. John downrigger. Cal downrigger. Marge
also
downrigger.
Dipsy Diver. So for a third answer,
Brody
Yep.
says
'cause
cannonball.
I couldn't remember down.
The correct answer is downrigger. Downriggers
or
are
Dipsy
used-
Diver or Cannonball.
Right? Dipsy Diver would work, right?
Are those brand names?
I
Or
think
just
it-
a line counting
Dipsy
reel.
Diver would be.
What do you got, Phil?
I'm just asking Maggie if
A
she
lot.
got
Marge
that one.
got that one right.
Awesome.
You can set your depth with those.
Downriggers are used by
Moving.
freshwater and saltwater anglers to catch everything from salmon to stripers to walleye. Downriggers are most useful when fishing in deep water or when you're trying to target fish that are spread out in the water column. A number of baits can be pulled behind a downrigger, such as spoons, swim baits, live baits, and crankbaits.
Oh,
Phil, we have two
Dipsy
questions
Diver
left.
For sure is right.
Give us a
Oh,
scoreboard
no.
update.
Wait.
Yeah. I got it right, but man, I'd be
Well,
a
this
thousand.
says Dipsy Diver is 2 words
Mm-hmm.
by the Lure Jensen Company.
Come
I don't
on.
even know what one of those looks
We've
like.
got John with
like
3
a
points.
plane.
He is out of the game, as are Marge and Seth with 4 points.
So unlike the downrigger, which is a ball that just
Big
sits
surprise.
How did Brody start
there, Dipsy Diver,
doing
you
so
need
bad?
the water tension.
You mean I just had the same answer as you and
The
I'm doing
squeaky
bad?
marker. All right, Phil, carry
No, I
on
had
with
it
your
right.
scoreboard update.
Oh, no, I'll wait till everyone else is done. Brody has 5 points. Steve, Janis, and Cal are tied up with 6. And in first place, all by his lonesome, is Randall Williams with 7 points.
Randall,
Only 7, huh?
Steve's going to punch you at the end of this game.
Well, wouldn't be the first time.
Question 9, the topic is conservation. Noah defines this as, quote, soil that has sand, silt, and clay in equal amounts.
Whoa.
Noah defines this as soil that has sand, silt, and clay in equal amounts. Seth, very quick to answer. Seth, do you have this one right?
I don't know. It's just the only thing that I was going to come up with that might work.
Why don't you gloat in Steve's face?
When someone
Here.
says soil, this pops into Seth's brain.
Noah defines this as soil that has sand, silt, and clay in equal amounts. Seth is our only confident player right now.
Are you reading my body language?
Oh, I didn't know that you have an answer. Are you confident, Randall?
No,
Okay.
but I just thought that was an interesting pronouncement.
The shit in my garden.
Soil that has sand, silt, and clay in equal amounts. Steve, do you have this one right?
Man, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh.
Maybe.
God, but it's like, can I see what you got there?
So, Randall, are you confident or not?
I have a word that popped into my head.
Okay.
I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I'm feeling good compared to the rest of our contestants here.
Brody now has come up with an answer. Brody, did you get this one right?
No, I don't even care anymore.
I think Steve's marker squeaking worked on you.
Nah.
Wasn't that long ago.
Started
You had
wearing
a
him
lead.
down psychologically.
No, I've been on a tear lately. You got to lose
There
once
you
in a
go.
while.
Okay. Noah defines this as soil that has sand, silt, and clay in equal amounts.
Boy, I don't know.
I don't know how they spell it.
This might change up the scoreboard. Cal, do you have an answer?
Well, I do. It's not.
Yanni, do you have an answer?
I do have an answer.
You boys ready?
Yep.
Not really.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying loam. Steve says, what's that say? Los?
Well, I couldn't know. I don't know how to spell it, man.
Yanni says loam. Randall, loam. John without an answer. Cal, loamy. Marge without an answer. Brody says sediment. The correct answer is loam or loamy soil.
Can I get it with this? Because you can tell I knew the word.
No.
That is a word, though.
Yeah, low. It's low.
I think that's part of like soil nutrients.
It is? Okay.
That's some other thing. In nature, loam is found from the plains to the forests. It's considered the finest soil for farming, which is why it's so concerning that topsoil is disappearing 10 times faster than it's being replaced. Native plants are an important part of soil conservation because they provide windbreaks and riparian buffers. Here's a correct answer review so far. 1 was Arkansas, 2 was Balaclava, 3 Jumanji, 4 New Hampshire, 5 Julia Child, 6 Spine, 7 Lucy, 8 Downrigger, 9 Loam. Phil, give us one last scoreboard update before we do question 10.
Whoops. Sorry, video people. I just faded to black. Here we are. It's down to Randall, Janis, and Cal. Janis and Cal have 7 points apiece, and Randall has 8.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring this up, but I actually knew that last one. Listen, man,
then
you
you
call
did
me
bring it
liar
up.
all you want. I had written it down, and then I took it away and wrote something different.
Question 10.
So, if you think about it, if
okay.
Randall gets this one wrong, it could have been that I won.
We'll think about it. Here's question 10. The topic is conservation. Name 2 of the 7 states that have exactly 2 national parks. Name 2 of the 7 states that have exactly 2 national parks.
Exactly.
Exactly. Don't put down one that has 10. Don't put down one that has 1.
Oh.
States that have exactly 2 national parks.
He's like Quentin Jaws coming into the chalkboard.
Randall, do you have this one right?
I believe so.
Steve even mentioned in the last question that it's what he has in his garden, which I bet he's correct there. I'm sure you are using loam.
I told you I had it right. Shouldn't I be able to just go off that comment?
Name 2 of the 7 states that have exactly 2 national parks.
God, I wanted to win so bad.
Do you have this one right, Steve?
Oh, shit. No, I don't have this one right.
Okay.
I didn't really think about it too terrible hard either because I don't think I can win no matter what. I mean, I can.
That's right.
It's
You
a
cannot.
fact.
Randall, how do you feel about your answer?
I feel like if I get it wrong, I'm going to feel very stupid.
Okay.
But I feel fairly confident. in my
Yanni,
answer.
do you have this one right?
I got a good guess going.
Okay. Cal, do you have this one right?
I feel stupid already.
Yeah.
Who are we down to
I took
again,
a hip
Phil?
shot.
Randall has 8. He is in first place. And then
Okay.
Janis and Cal are tied up with 7 behind.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Randall was calling everyone who gets this question wrong stupid.
No, I'll just.
We're against that kind of language here at MeatEater Trivia.
No, it's just it's the particulars of my answer. I think.
Name 2.
For the sports people, Randall, Spencer in the room, is there some sort of analogy we could make about like a player or coach who was like, they're just in their prime and they stepped away from the game and came back and the game had changed and left them behind?
Left
I
them
don't know
behind.
where's this going.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be like if Michael Jordan wasn't good after he came back from playing
baseball.
baseball. Yeah, there you go. Name 2 of the 7 states that have exactly 2 national parks. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying Montana and Wyoming. Steve says South Dakota, Maine. Janis says Colorado, Montana. Randall says Montana, Wyoming. John says Montana, Arkansas. Cal says Montana, Washington. Marge says Montana and North Dakota. Brody says Michigan and Maine. The 7 states are Nevada, Hawaii, Montana, New Mexico, South Dakota, Texas, and Wyoming. Meaning Randall got that one right.
Randall.
So did I, Spencer.
I had half it right.
Sad.
Seth did too.
Randall is our winner
Terrible.
today with
Go, Randall.
9 correct answers? Which one
9.
did you miss? The first question?
The first question.
Those
yeah.
damn fishing questions.
I know.
We shouldn't have put them at the beginning
You
or
stuck
the
it-
end.
You sabotaged me at the beginning right off the bat. How unusual, given your propensity to put them at the end.
Randall, you get to choose where the $500 donation from MeatEater goes. What's it going to be today?
I'd like to give the $500 to our friends at Backcountry Hunters and Anglers.
Okay.
A lot of land transfer talk back on the table, and they're out there on the front lines.
$500 going to BHA via Randall and MeatEater.
I'd like
And-
this knuckle sandwich to go to Randall.
Yeah, we beat the 3 o'clock buzzer by 17 minutes. Everyone can get a knuckle sandwich.
Phil, keep the cameras rolling. I need evidence.
Luckily,
Join
the
us next
cameras
week
are
for more MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins.
Thank you, Spencer.
Thank you, Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer from South Dakota, he's the host. Using those smooth, mellow tones, he lays them questions down. And he likes taking those 2- and 3-year-old bucks. And he's an avid amateur rock